Recently, this person may have said things that deeply hurt you and behaved in ways that felt rude, harsh, or even aggressive, leaving you emotionally wounded and breaking the trust you once placed in them. They are fully aware of the damage their words and actions caused, and they understand that the pain did not simply fade with time. What once felt safe and familiar now feels fragile, and they recognize that their behavior played a major role in creating that distance between you. This awareness weighs heavily on them, especially because they know they hurt someone who mattered deeply to them and whose presence they never truly stopped valuing. Now, they feel a strong urge to reach out to you again, not with excuses or defensiveness, but with the intention of initiating a calm, friendly conversation. More than anything, they want the opportunity to offer you a genuine and heartfelt apology for how they behaved in the past. They want you to know that they are not reaching out impulsively or out of loneliness, but from a place of reflection and regret. Their intention is very clear. They want to close the chapter defined by misunderstandings, anger, and emotional immaturity, and begin a fresh, healthier cycle with you, one built on honesty, patience, and respect. They are also very conscious of the fact that you have changed through this experience. They can sense that you are now approaching the situation more logically, protecting yourself emotionally in ways you may not have before. At the same time, they understand that you are still carrying anger and frustration over the way things were left unresolved. The unfinished conversations, the words that were never said, and the actions that were never taken continue to linger in your mind. They know that this unresolved energy has made it difficult for you to fully move on or fully reconnect, and they accept responsibility for leaving things in such a painful state. Although you may not be openly expressing your feelings anymore, this person can see beyond your silence. They sense that beneath your guarded exterior, your heart still holds love and emotional attachment toward them. They know this is not something you are willing to give away easily now, and they respect that. They understand that any affection or vulnerability you may still feel will only surface if they are willing to move slowly and treat you with genuine care. They know that rushed conversations, empty promises, or surface-level apologies will not be enough to earn your trust again. What they want you to understand is that they no longer wish to approach you from a place of ego, immaturity, or selfish desire. They are tired of repeating old patterns that only lead to emotional damage for both of you. Instead, they want to present themselves to you as someone who has emotionally grown, someone who has learned from their mistakes and is willing to communicate openly rather than react defensively. They want to listen to you without interrupting, to understand your feelings without dismissing them, and to acknowledge your pain without trying to justify their past behavior. They also recognize that rebuilding trust will not happen overnight. They know that words alone will not undo the hurt they caused, and that consistency, patience, and accountability will matter far more than promises. They are prepared to meet you where you are emotionally, even if that means taking things slowly and allowing you to lead the pace of any reconnection. They understand that you need to feel emotionally safe again, and they are willing to put in the effort required to create that safety. At the same time, they are not approaching you with the intention of pressuring you into forgiveness or rekindling things immediately. Their desire to start fresh does not come from entitlement, but from hope. They hope that, with time and sincerity, they can show you that they are no longer the person who hurt you so deeply. They want you to see their growth not through grand gestures, but through small, consistent actions that reflect emotional maturity and genuine care. Ultimately, this person wants you to know that they are aware of both your strength and your vulnerability. They know you are protecting your heart now, and they respect that boundary. They are not asking you to forget the past, but they are asking for a chance to show that they have learned from it. Their intention is to move forward honestly, slowly, and with emotional responsibility, hoping that one day you may feel safe enough to open your heart again, only if and when you truly feel ready. When you turned your back on me, it felt as though my entire world collapsed in an instant. Everything I had built my sense of peace and belonging around shattered, leaving me lost and breathless. I felt as if I had lost the most precious part of my life, something irreplaceable that once gave my days meaning and my heart direction. The silence that followed your absence was louder than any argument we ever had, and it echoed constantly inside me, reminding me of what I had lost and how deeply it mattered to me. I know that I went against you, and I want to be honest about why. I tried to hide my pain from you, believing that distancing myself would somehow protect both of us. Blocking you was not an act of strength or indifference, it was an act of fear. I was overwhelmed by my own emotions and didn't know how to face them or express them in a healthy way. Now, I truly feel that I am facing my karma in the realest sense. Every moment without you has taught me how wrong I was and how heavy the consequences of my actions can be. The truth is, I can never replace you. You are rare in a way that words struggle to describe. You are one of the purest souls I have ever met, someone whose presence alone brought warmth, understanding, and depth into my life. People like you do not come often, and when they do, they change us forever. Losing you has made me realize just how extraordinary you are and how deeply you touched my heart and soul. Your absence has caused an immense amount of pain within me. There are moments when my heart feels unbearably heavy, and I find myself asking, "Where are you, my love?" I miss not only your voice or your presence but the way you understood me without judgment. I miss the calm reassurance you gave me when life felt overwhelming and the strength you offered me when I felt weak. That emptiness you left behind is something I carry with me every day. Your wisdom and emotional support played a crucial role in helping me hold my life together. You helped me see things more clearly, not just about the world around me but about myself as well. Through you, I discovered parts of myself that needed healing, wounds I had ignored, emotions I had buried, and fears I had never faced. You encouraged growth without forcing it and offered love without conditions, and that is something I will always be grateful for. I want you to know, from the deepest part of my heart, that my feelings for you are genuine. I am serious about you and about what we shared. Please believe me when I say that my intentions were always pure. I never wanted to hurt you, deceive you, or play with your emotions. If I failed to show that clearly, it was not because my feelings were false, but because I lacked the emotional maturity and clarity to express them the right way. Unfortunately, and completely against my intentions, my words and actions caused you pain, trouble, and disturbance in your life. I carry deep regret for that. Knowing that I hurt someone as precious as you weighs heavily on my conscience. If I could go back and change the way I handled things, I would do so without hesitation. I now understand that love requires responsibility, patience, and open communication, things I did not always offer in the way you deserved. This experience has humbled me and forced me to confront my flaws. I am learning from my mistakes and trying to grow into a better version of myself, not just for you, but for my own healing as well. You taught me that love is not just about emotions but about accountability, understanding, and the courage to face difficult truths. Even in your absence, you continue to teach me valuable lessons. I don't know what the future holds for us, but I needed you to know how deeply you matter to me and how sincerely I regret the pain I caused. You will always hold a special place in my heart, and no matter where life takes us, the impact you have had on me will never fade. My love for you is real, and my remorse is genuine. I can only hope that one day, in some way, you will feel the sincerity behind these words. Your partner is deeply unsettled by how much time has passed since the two of you last truly communicated, and this distance weighs heavily on their heart and mind. They find themselves constantly thinking about how different things feel now compared to before, and they genuinely hate how silence has replaced what was once an open and emotionally rich connection. More than anything, they miss the love, warmth, and care you used to give them so freely and unconditionally. That affection once made them feel secure, valued, and emotionally anchored, and its absence has left a noticeable gap in their daily life. As you gradually pulled back your energy, they began to feel a growing sense of loss, one that they did not fully understand at first but that has now become impossible to ignore. This withdrawal has created a profound sense of emptiness within them, as if something essential is missing from their world. Even when surrounded by people or distractions, they still feel a void that nothing else seems to fill. At the same time, this emptiness is paired with an overwhelming and almost magnetic attraction toward you. Despite the distance, or perhaps because of it, their feelings for you have intensified rather than faded. They feel drawn to you in ways that go beyond logic, sensing an emotional pull that continues to tie them to you even in your absence. This inner conflict, feeling both empty and powerfully attracted, has left them emotionally restless and deeply reflective. Your partner is also painfully aware of how suddenly the dynamic between you both shifted. They often revisit memories of a time when everything felt more balanced, or when you were the one chasing them, investing more energy, attention, and effort into the connection. Now, the situation feels completely reversed, and this change has left them both confused and humbled. They can clearly see how the roles have shifted within the relationship, and this realization has forced them to confront emotions they once tried to suppress or ignore. What once felt familiar and predictable now feels fragile, uncertain, and deeply meaningful in a way they did not fully appreciate before. Time apart has given your partner space to reflect, and in that space, they have come to understand the true value of your presence in their life. Being away from you has stripped away distractions and illusions, leaving them face to face with their genuine feelings. They now recognize how much comfort, joy, and emotional stability you brought into their world simply by being there. Your presence was not something they could replace or replicate, and this realization has grown stronger with each passing day. The distance has acted as a mirror, showing them what they once took for granted and what they now deeply long to regain. Your partner feels a strong desire to meet you in person, believing that seeing you face to face is the only way to truly express what words alone cannot convey. They want to look into your eyes and tell you how much they have missed you since you both went your separate ways. There is a longing within them to share how the time apart has changed their perspective and opened their heart. They feel that an in-person meeting would allow them to communicate honestly, vulnerably, and without misunderstandings, offering a chance to reconnect on a deeper emotional level. However, their journey to this realization has not been easy. Their ego and pride played a significant role in complicating the connection, creating barriers that prevented open communication and emotional honesty. At times, they chose silence over vulnerability, believing it was safer to protect themselves rather than risk rejection or emotional exposure. This choice, though rooted in self-preservation, caused them immense inner suffering. They carried their pain quietly, wrestling with regret, confusion, and longing while presenting a composed exterior to the world. The silence they maintained became a heavy burden, one that only deepened their sense of isolation. Now, your partner feels exhausted by this emotional stalemate and no longer wants fear to dictate their actions. They have reached a point where holding back feels more painful than taking a risk. The weight of unspoken feelings, missed moments, and unresolved emotions has become too heavy to carry alone. They are beginning to understand that true connection requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to set pride aside. With this newfound clarity, they want to move forward, even if it means confronting uncomfortable emotions or acknowledging past mistakes. At this stage, your partner is ready to open their heart again and take steps toward rebuilding what was once shared between you. They want to approach the connection with more maturity, awareness, and emotional openness than before. Their hope is not only to reconnect but to create something stronger, more balanced, and more genuine than what existed in the past. By setting their fears aside, they are choosing growth over avoidance and love over ego. Ultimately, they wish to move forward with you, guided by the lessons learned during your time apart and fueled by the deep realization of how much you truly mean to them.